Hey everyone, welcome back to Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. So this is going to be your September monthly reading. It's going to be general, and I'm doing a little different this month. I'm doing the elements. So I'm going to be doing fire signs. So I'm going to be doing Aries, Leo, Sag, okay, in that order. And I'm just trying something new because obviously, like, I just don't know what people are liking, kind of freshen it up a little bit. So if you guys are new to my channel, please subscribe so you know when new videos go live. And if you're a return sub, I always really appreciate it. Thank you guys. So I'm going to be pulling one oracle card for each of the signs plus some cards. And yeah, we're going to see what's going on. Now, this is a little bit more of an intuitive read, not just cards, but just giving you a heads up. These readings are meant for your sun, moon, or rising. So whatever fiddles your fancy, okay? Let's go with Aries. Aries, what's going on with your September, Aries? Aries. There, okay, 2 flipped, so we'll keep 2. We'll keep 2, here we go. Aries. Okay, Aries, awesome. Okay, so we got self-esteem and humor, okay? So I'm going to read, it says self-esteem, I possess the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. And then humor, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Aries, I feel like for a lot of you, this month, you have to take things as they come. You can't take things so serious. It's not your way or the highway type of thing, okay? Because sometimes, Aries, your ego can get bruised a little bit, and then that self-esteem starts to, you know, tank, and that's when you get kind of, you know, you can get a little frazzled, okay? So this month, it's all about organizing, kind of grounding yourself, getting things prepared. So it's almost like the time to take a step back and kind of reevaluate. I also think that the humor piece is coming out, Aries, to remind you that you don't need to be, you know, so serious. You know, let things kind of take a lighter approach. It will help you in many regards. So let's get into the cards. We got the Judgment card in reverse, Aries. You're not paying attention to the signs and synchronicities. I do think that there is a shift needed in your life, in your space. How you approach things, how you're evaluating things, how you know, just react to things. And it's really kind of looking, this is going to sound weird. It's almost like taking a step back and looking at yourself from a different perspective, okay? The Judgment card is usually an awakening. It's a wake-up call. There's something that could be coming back from the past that's kind of like rearing its head again because you maybe haven't learned a lesson or haven't, you know, really found a solution to something within yourself, and you've kind of been doing the Band-Aid approach, pretending that it's not there. You can only do that so much before the universe comes in and says, no, you actually really have to take the time out and work on this, okay? Page of Swords in reverse is kind of taking this approach where you really don't want to even, you know, try. And this isn't going to work, Aries. This whole, and it could be a self-esteem piece. It's like you're holding on a good front or showing a good front, but deep down there's something kind of boiling or disruptive, and it's maybe hurtful, or you feel a little resentful right now, Aries. This is not to be outside the looking glass. You got to get in it, okay? Now, the Page of Swords usually is about somebody who may not know exactly how to get from A to B, which is fine. It's a little bit of faking it while you kind of make it, you know what I mean? You kind of have to just pick up the sword and learn as you go. But when the reverse, it's almost like you don't even have the lack of, it's like no motivation. Like mentally, you're not even ready for it. You're not preparing yourself. Aries, I really feel like there's a situation in your life that needs to get cleared out. You need to clear the air, whether it's some confrontation, maybe it's some deep-seated emotions that are kind of starting to overtake and maybe make you feel a certain type of way and you're not voicing your opinion. Whatever it is, Aries, you got to let that go. Because once you face it, you got to feel it to heal it, right? So once you face it, it's less scary. It's not as daunting or overwhelming, or you don't feel like you're drowning in it as much, right? Four of Wands is happiness. Four of Wands is kind of like, you know, creating the life that you want, and there's more stability and there's better relationships in your life, happy home, happiness within yourself, happiness with other people. If you aren't good with you, then you're not going to really be able to be good with others, you know, or it's like a forced happiness, and no one needs that. No one wants that. We want your authentic self, Aries. So take some time this month to focus on yourself, and, you know, maybe you have to kind of look at things with a little bit, again, some humor and not being so hard on yourself. And, you know, you can change the direction. You're Aries. You guys have the ability to maneuver better than anyone. Okay, you're so fearless. So don't forget that. And you can create this. The Four of Wands is, well, it can mean different things for different people, but ultimately it's just finding that balance in your life, kind of building yourself back up, and you have everything you need within you to get there. Okay, Aries? So let's see what's going on with our lovely Leos. Our lovely Leos who we just ended your season. So let's see what's going on. Leos. What's going on for my lovely Leos for September? And let me know if you guys like these types of readings, because again, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, let's just mix it up a little bit, right? Leave a comment if you're liking this type of style of reading. Flipped. No, it didn't. Okay, a lot of reversals, but that's okay. The card that came out for you, Leo, and Spirit is saying sky's the limit. You got the imagination card, okay? It says, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. For some of you, you know, kind of opening up that third eye, and starting to see things from a different perspective, Leo. I think that you've had some humble moments this year, and definitely some redefining moments, kind of seeing things from a different lens, seeing things from a different perspective, even a higher perspective, which is all good. And I think that there's been a lot of work that you've been doing behind the scenes that no one has really understood. You've been kind of going through this transition and transformation energetically, maybe even spiritually. So I do think for Leo, you know, as a fire sign, it's good. It's always good to have an outlet to release that creative energy, right? Whether it's drawing, painting, doing woodworking, working on cars, you know, poetry, singing, whatever it is, right? You have to put your energy and focus into something. And I do think a creative outlet is good because it kind of just helps you release. And it's not that you're putting pressure on yourself. It's just something that you enjoy, and it kind of just brings you back to center, okay? So keeping that, you know, making sure that that's a part of your routine and schedule can really be helpful this month and beyond. So first card that comes out is Queen of Swords in reverse. Queen of Swords can be a little bit of a tricky energy. Very, very independent. So I think that there's parts of you could be cutting ties with folks in your life, Leo, that it's taken longer than expected. I feel like enough's enough. You've dealt with the situation or a person for so long, and it's you know, it's someone who's probably held you down energetically, has not been as supportive, and someone who you really thought was your kind of inner circle person, but they really showed themselves to be not trustworthy, and don't put you as a person of importance in their life like you do to them, okay? I hope that made sense. Basically, it's almost like someone's putting more energy into the relationship than the other person. It's starting to become really noticeable. Leo, Queen of Swords can be very, very direct, even in the upright. Queen of Swords can represent kind of more Libra energy for the most part, I would say. I would say you need to balance yourself and find a right time and place to voice your opinions with this person, because the Queen of Swords can be very sharp and very cutting, sometimes not even trying. And I think, Leo, you got into a point where your filter's kind of now gone. And so it's not if, it's when you're going to say something. How you say it is, and the delivery is really key here to drive home the message. I think you wish this person well, but they're just no longer welcome in your sphere, okay? Just the Queen of Swords can be very cutting. This is also to understand and to keep an eye on in your inner circle that people need to be independent and do things for them and not ride your coattails, Leo. You've done a lot of hard work this year, so people need to do their own personal self-discovery and transformation and on their own, because even though you might be able to guide them to an extent, you can't actually do it for them, okay? The Star card tells me that there is definitely some, I think that you feel like there's certainly light at the end of the tunnel, and there's, hope and prosperity, and that you're kind of on the path that you're meant to be on, that you're aligning. It feels right. So a lot of the changes and decisions that you've been making on a personal level, you're starting to see that, it feels good. It feels right. This is something that makes sense to me, that this is something that I worked really hard for, and I don't regret the decisions I'm making. I feel confident and I feel empowered. The Star card represents Aquarius, and Aquarius and Leo are direct opposite sides of the wheel. And I think, so there's complementary traits there. Also, this is thinking about being a little bit rebellious and doing things for your own well-being, Leo, which, you have no problem doing. And I also think that you're starting to think a little bit bigger. You're starting to think of your community, the collective, how you can help people, how you can bring more outreach or what you're doing and working on behind the scenes. Maybe even promote yourself on a larger scale. Last card is, you got the Two of Swords in reverse. Like to see this in reverse because you're starting to get out of your own way, Leo. You're starting to not overthink as much and take everybody's opinions and their, personal viewpoints into play. You're kind of, it's fine to take people, if they want to share their voice or opinion, people are going to do it anyway, even if you tell them to back off. But you're taking things with a grain of salt now. It's like it's not weighing on you emotionally, and it's not swaying your decision to move in a direction or not to move in a direction, which is really good. The Two of Swords is seeing things for what it is in reverse. You're seeing people for who they really are. You're seeing a situation for what it is, not necessarily what you're hoping or could be. I think this is also, you're willing to put yourself on a limb a little bit more, Leo, this month, and speak your voice, give your opinion, not really leaving anything on the table for assumptions. Like, you're really putting yourself out there and saying, look, this is where I stand, take it or leave it. Leo, I just feel like this is a really powerful month for you. So keep riding high in that energy that you have and make it happen, okay? Oh, can't wait to hear about it, Leo. Okay, Sagittarius, my lovely, lovely Sagittarius, what is going on for you, okay? Sag. Oh my goodness. Sag. Sagittarius for September. What's going on with Sagittarius for September? These oracle cards are great, but they're a little bit big, so sometimes they're hard for me to shuffle. Sagittarius. Oh, okay. Well, two came out, so we'll keep those, okay? And some zodiacs get 2 and some get 1. It's just what falls out, right? So, okay. Sagittarius for September. Sagittarius for September. Okay, we're keeping that one because, okay, now, all right, okay, real strong energy this month. So the 2 oracle cards that came out was relationships and fear. Sag. Okay, let's get going here. It says, I'm attracted to those who to those people who serve my higher good. And I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. You know, fear is a state of mind. It certainly is. And we're all human. So fear and ego can creep in. For some of you, you're maybe reconsidering the relationship that you're in, if it's the right one. Sag, for a fire sign, I will say that you tend to have, or I feel like you pull characteristics similar to an air sign, where you overthink and you will stay in your head forever and ever. And then you kind of will make you'll make a decision kind of hasty or out of reaction, not kind of because it's the right thing to do. It's almost like, you know, you can get kind of pressured and you're like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And you are in a very adventurous spirit. So you do need a partner who, you know, gives you freedom, respects your independence, but also wants to do things with you and is social and wants to kind of create adventures as you evolve as a couple, right? I think for some of you, this can also be the relationship with yourself, kind of figuring out who you are and taking that step back. But for those of you in a relationship, it could just mean that certain partnerships are meant to come to a close and the chapter's coming to a close and that you're moving on to something new. I say that because we have really strong energy here, and you know, I feel like there's something you're not saying, Sagittarius, and you've kind of held back, but now it's like things are kind of running off the tracks and the universe is going to force you to make a decision or force change within your relationship or home or household. This doesn't have to necessarily just be romantic relationships. It can be any important relationship in your life. We got the Tower card, which is ruled by Mars. Aries energy, and even kind of, you know, the Uranus type of vibes where it's like very sudden, fast, abrupt change. Sometimes it's things that you can't, it's out of your control. But the thing is that the Tower card in the long run is always positive. It allows you to kind of start fresh, you know, from like a completely stable foundation, and that you get to build a relationship as you see it. The Tower card to me, though, I feel like if this is a relationship, an important one in your life, you're seeing that it needs to come to an end. You're just trying to figure out the how. Lots of good memories. It's not an easy, it's actually a very tough decision to make, but it's necessary. This is someone who's very negative and they keep holding you back or make you feel bad about yourself, or they don't believe in your dreams or goals. And that's a problem, right? For any person, not just you, as far as your sign. I feel like you've been lonely in this relationship. It's been very one-sided. And you really just don't see any way out of it. So rather than trying to stick it out and kind of trying to make the best out of the situation because you're comfortable and you see kind of what's basically I'm trying to put the words together. It's almost like it is what it is. So there's not a lot. I mean, like it's you can expect this person to be their authentic self. It's just that person is just not in alignment with who you have become. So I do feel like there's going to be a big shift in a relationship. But there is going to be, you know, a new beginning. This can also mean for some of you, Sages, that you could have a new person into your life that comes in fast and furious, very unexpected, and it could be a very strong sexual chemistry that you have with this individual. Either way, there is an ending and a new beginning happening. So when one thing closes, one thing opens, for sure. The Ace of Wands is passionate. Again, a lot of chemistry, a lot of physical connectivity, but also a lot of intellectual stimulation and banter, which is always very exciting. Now, the one thing about this is that it can feel very hot and heavy out of the gate, or it can feel very, like, even if it's a platonic relationship, it can feel very, the strong connectivity that you can't explain or put your finger on. What I would tell you is slow things down, get to know this person before you kind of like give them like all the dirty details of your life, or, you know, kind of offer up your like all your deepest emotions and secrets, kind of offer up your soul, kind of, so to speak. This is really taking the time to learn their intentions, to see what they're all about, to see if they're moving in the same direction as you, if they have the same morals and values and ethics and outlooks on things. that they're understanding, that they're open-minded, that they're willing to compromise, that they're willing to admit if they're wrong. All those things, right? In any relationship, again, it doesn't have to be just romantic. I will tell you that this is something that there is a lesson here, and you're being tested by the universe. And I think that there is a lesson that you need to trust yourself. You need to see the red flags and the signs, and you need to pick them out quickly, and you need to listen to yourself. That's what Spirit keeps saying over and over again. If you fail this test and you just go based on how you feel in the moment, and you only keep it at a surface level, Sagittarius, and you're unwilling to see what is beneath the surface, and understand that relationships evolve, you know, in the long term. It's not like, you know, so it's like, don't put somebody on a pedestal and expect them to be that way forever. Like, people evolve, right? The Death card in reverse means that there isn't a lesson learned just yet. So it's very much like, I feel like you're being tested in your most important relationships currently, or the next one that enters into your life. And you really need to choose you. You need to match energy, Sagittarius. You can't put all of yourself in a relationship, and then, because when you do, you get burned, okay? So you have to start pacing yourself in relationships. And that's in all relationships. You can't give and not receive and think that that's sustainable, or vice versa, right? So, but this is the time to really work on the relationships also with the most important people in your life, because those are individuals who are going to keep you going through the hard times, okay? So these are the messages that I was getting, Sag. First and foremost, I hope you have a wonderful September. Please, again, let me know if you like these types of readings. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram, because I post there quite a bit, so you can get free insights. So guys, I'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching.